Kim Davis, the Kentucky clerk who denied gays marriage licenses, has been released from jail since her office started issuing them without her. And her and Mike Huckabee had a disgusting rally where they bathed in their religious bigotry with fans of theirs.
I just want to give God the glory. His people have rallied, and you are a strong people.
Every one of us will have to decide whether or not we want to keep this great republic or whether we're willing to sacrifice it and surrender it to tyranny. And I think we gather here today to say we will not surrender to the tyranny of one branch of government. The only explanation is that God intervened. And I believe this week, once again, as Forrest Gump so wonderfully said, God showed up. Let Kim go. But if you have to put someone in jail, I volunteer to go. Let me go. Lock me up if you think that's how freedom is best served. Because, folks, I am willing to spend the next 8 years in the White House leading this country, but I want you to know I'm willing to spend the next 8 years in jail, but I'm not willing to spend one day under the tyranny of people who believe they can take our freedom and conscience away.
This guy is going to lose so bad, it's absurd. Are you incapable of reading polls, dipshit? Over 60% of the American people are now pro-gay marriage. This guy's doing a rally like it's fucking 1953. Out there like, we all hate gays, right? What? There's only like 36 of you in the audience? Fuck. I miscalculated. But actually, I think that Mike Huckabee really believes all this shit. Because there's no logical reason to do it in terms of getting ahead and actually winning the presidency. So I think he just actually drinks the Kool-Aid. And he really is a fundamentalist Christian idiot. Now, some people would argue, well, this is going to help in the primary. Not really. No. Like I say time and time again, who won the last two primaries for the Republicans? Mitt Romney, John McCain. What did they share in common? They were two of the most moderate people on the stage. Now, of course, it's Republicans. You need different standards. Moderate for them is still fucking batshit crazy. But, that being said, they were not positioning themselves this far right, where this guy's calling for theocracy, basically. And look at what he said there. He keeps bringing up the enemies of freedom, people who want to bring tyranny to us. Mike, that's you! You're an enemy of freedom. Gay marriage is two consenting adults doing what they want, and they're not hurting anybody else. This doesn't affect straight marriages. We didn't ban straight marriages. We're not forcing straight people to get married to people of the same gender. We are allowing freedom now. Hey, you can get married whatever way you want. If you want to get gay married, go ahead. You want to get straight married, go ahead. You don't want to get married, go ahead. That's freedom. You're the enemy of freedom. But you're acting like others are the enemy of freedom. You're acting like gay people are the enemies of freedom and liberals are the enemies of freedom. No, they're fighting for freedom. And you keep bringing up tyranny. You're the tyrannical one. You're the one that wants to get inside the lives of gay people and say, I'm not going to let you marry that person because I personally don't like it. That means you believe in tyranny. You want to dictate to them what to do. You got nothing to do with them. Mind your fucking business. So they flip everything. And when she's crying at the beginning, sweet Jesus, I'm such a hero. Don't you love my bigotry? You're not a fucking hero. As I've now said maybe 3 or 4 days in a row now, and originally this was on Twitter. I wish I could give credit, but I don't know who said it. Somebody said she thinks she's Rosa Parks, but she's the old white woman in the front of the bus screaming at Rosa Parks to get to the back of the bus. And then she wants to throw a rally and say, oh, I stood up for segregation. I stood up for racism. Racism's in the Bible. I'm a hero, aren't I? Love me for this. You're not a civil rights hero. You're an anti-civil rights hero. You're fighting to take away people's rights, not give them more rights. And finally, Huckabee somehow went further than all of that when he said, God. That's the only explanation for how she got out of jail. God. No, you know how she got out of jail? The judge let her out of jail because, like I just described to you before, her office was issuing gay marriage licenses. So he said, oh, okay, the problem's solved. They're issuing it. She needs to stay away, and they need to continue issuing it. All right, now I'll let her go. That's the explanation. Not God was sitting up there going, war in Syria, hundreds of thousands of people dying, refugee crisis where children are washing up on beaches. I'll get to that tomorrow. Cancer, fuck it. Malaria, extreme poverty, drought, wildfire, famine. No, let me get this bigot out of jail. We're dealing with children here, guys. He doesn't think like a rational person. There's not much going on up there, man. These guys are scary because they're true fundamentalists. Imagine that crowd. Instead of being fundamentalist Christians, it was fundamentalist Muslims. You heard them when Kim Davis says, for the glory of God. They're like, oh, God, yeah. Imagine, for the glory of Allah. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Fox News would shit themselves and run out and buy an arsenal of weapons, and they'd have Greta Van Susteren guarding the door.